postseason on EA Sports. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, that's really all I need to say to get you fired up. It's the postseason on EA Sports.
And no one's more fired up than the guys who are going to be playing in this game.
What twists and turns will January have in store for us? The NFL playoffs are officially underway.
Jerick McKinnon to take it out of the end zone. The KC offense set to go, led as always by the gunslinger, a former MVP in this league. It's Patrick Mahomes.
And he comes into this wild card round off of a really good regular season, better than 30 touchdown passes. And he said he feels like he can take some shots against the secondary. In fact, in our meeting, he said not only can he take shots, he expects to do it early.
Throwing at the outset, here's Mahomes.
And incomplete to open things up.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Meanwhile, Mahomes' throw complete there to Smith-Schuster.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Chiefs first down. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Escaping the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Kenneth Murray coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan.
And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football.
That's kind of a double whammy. I mean, the interception on the opening drive, that's one thing. But to give them this field position, that's another.
Absolutely perfect start for this defense. They take the ball away on the opening possession. They know that their offense will get the ball to start the second half. They line them up in field goal position. And to me, they got a chance for a touchdown right here out of the gate.
Here are the Chargers ready to go on offense, led by their first-round pick in 2020. The man out of Oregon, Justin Herbert.
And there's really no underestimating or downplaying the incredible regular season he had throwing the football. When you throw for over 5,000 yards, that's a monster season. He's got an offense that's certainly capable of doing damage in the postseason as well. But he also understands that defense tends to win championships in the playoffs. He wants to find a way to set that aside and advance his team. Good running right there. And this is a man who's a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances. And he picks up nice yardage on that one.
Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down.
And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed. It's Eckler again. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. A shotgun snap for Herbert. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. More from L.A. in a moment.
Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal?
Eckler again.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles.
It's a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Chargers will strike first here in this wild card matchup.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And that makes the score 7-0. A drive that time at 6 plays.
And it's Austin Eckler who finishes things off with a touchdown run.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
And they'll start at the 25 as McKinnon decides against returning it. KC's offense ready to take over. And, you know, listen, there's 2 ways to get the number 7 seed. You can back into it or you can charge your way into it and seize it. But ultimately, once you're here, you can throw that out the window. You've got to come to play.
Yeah, you just think of that phrase, any given Sunday or Saturday as the case may be. And even though this is a 2 versus 7 matchup, don't think for 1 second that this game's going to be a pushover. Anything can happen once the playoffs begin. The safety position continues to evolve into a bigger role in run defense than in the past. They certainly love to have him drop down and get aggressive in bringing ball carriers down behind the line of scrimmage. Not many bigger stops than that one right there.
Now Mahomes over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster.
They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
And he will have a Chiefs first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
And already down 7-0 after the touchdown a minute ago, so a 3-and-out here would not be ideal for them. Nice job finding his receiver there, and they get the first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Mahomes on the give to Edwards-Helaire. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37.
Not the kind of gain that we'll go absolutely crazy for, but it's the kind of gain that you need to have when you're running back in the NFL. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire with that low center of gravity and strength, he's going to get those tough, gritty yards for you.
Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football.
Saw the pressure coming out, and that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
To throw again on 2nd down.
Herbert.
Williams brings it in.
And the Chargers are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Running on 1st down, Eckler. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Austin Eckler with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter.
And the Chargers lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. So 2 drives, 2 touchdowns here in this first quarter, and he's got both of them.
Well, certainly setting himself up for a big game here. And I think if the play caller doesn't get in his own way, they should keep riding him the entire way of this game until the defense proves they can stop him. That's what I would call it.
Hopkins with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Following the a touchdown. Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
And they'll start at the 25 as McKinnon decides against returning it.
Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to. Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Throwing now is Mahomes.
Another pass into the reliable hands of Kelsey.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. His 2nd catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a 1st down.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed 1st down there. They've needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now here's Mahomes. That ball is caught. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers' 28. And again, it's Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground.
And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. Following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. More from L.A. in a moment. On 2nd down, a run with Edwards-Helaire.
Now he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Mahomes finding Juju there for the Kansas City 1st.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Chiefs with the football as we start the 2nd quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
The man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Mahomes. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory.
And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Khalil Mack with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there.
So that kick gives them their 1st points of the game, CD, and it comes on the 3rd drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far. Finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. L.A. set to take over again on offense.
Now, right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down. Here's Herbert. Runs over. It's Williams on the catch.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing again on second down. Herbert. He finds his target, Allen. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 16. That one goes for 24 yards.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Herbert operating from the red zone. Going back to Allen. He's got him again. Touchdown. Keenan Allen. A 16-yard touchdown.
And the Chargers continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And the lead is up to 18 now. A drive there of just 4 plays.
And it was Keenan Allen who finished it all off with the touchdown reception. And they'll start at the 25 as McKinnon decides against returning it. The Chiefs offense set to go.
And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw, it's Mahomes. Flush to his right. And this one is incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. These sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Now here's Ross. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Chargers will be set up pretty well as they take over in great field position.
The Charger offense had Justin Herbert heading back onto the field. He had the touchdown pass on their previous drive, and they'll search for another score as they begin here with a 1st and 10.
Back to throw here, Herbert. Pressure comes and down he goes.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. That's a step in the right direction defensively here because you're facing this sizable deficit. They're going to need more plays like that. A good sack, though. Good effort there.
And what you're hoping is, as you said, a step in the right direction, and that means it's something to build on. So you get the first one, and hopefully that can ignite them, and now they can make a few more plays and get back into this game.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down. Play action. It's Herbert.
That's taken in by the tight end, McKinney. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
On 2nd down, Eckler. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Hopkins' kick is good. And the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's 24-3. So everything else has gone right in this first half. Kind of follows it a route for their kicker, too, as he adds 3 more onto the lead.
Yeah, and the way that this one's gone, definitely not looking like he's going to have to worry too much about pressure kicks late in the game. He can go out there free and easy, just work on his form, and he knocked that one through.
And they'll start at the 25 as McKinnon decides against returning it. And Kansas City's offense now set and ready to go. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. Here's Edwards-Helaire as they will start on the ground. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Here's Mahomes to throw. Finding Hardman here over the middle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a 1st down. 2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. And Mahomes misfires again, and it's intercepted. And the Chargers are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I suppose you go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
39 yards there, a big one.
Big plays are starting to become the trend here in this first half, and everything that they've tried has worked. And there's another example right there.
This is a counter play, Eckler. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Good yardage there on 1st down, exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Once more, here's Eckler. And he takes it in for the Charger touchdown. Ashton Eckler on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Chargers are able to add on to their first-half lead. Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it's Austin Eckler who finishes things off with a touchdown run. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Out of the end zone comes McKinnon. But he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Chiefs going to go back on offense here late in this first half. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
Mahomes again here on 2nd and 10. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. That winds up pushing it back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd. After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half.
So we're at halftime of this AFC Wildcard matchup as we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. Good matchups all up and down the schedule there. We'll highlight the one in Cincinnati. A big test coming up for the Bengals as they'll take on the visiting Indianapolis Colts. Time now for a check of the next gen's.
Well, look around the NFL. We'll have to wait for postgame because we are moving right through halftime and on to the third quarter.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams trying to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. And they have made this look easy. And there's not supposed to be anything easy about the NFL playoffs, but this lead, yes, they're at home, but this has been impressive.
And we hear all the time when upsets happen, teams go on the road, that maybe home field advantage isn't all it's cracked up to be. But you and I both know the reality is teams really fight hard to get it. Why? You don't ever have to change routine. Everything's familiar going into the game. It makes things easier, and that has paid off for them in a big way in this contest.
They started on the ground with Eckler. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Well, no matter how you phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Herbert. Over the middle, caught by Mims. His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Off the play fake to Eckler, it's Herbert.
It's complete to Williams. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Now here's a pass on first down. It's knocked away and incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Eric Wilson coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Across the formation, he's got a man. That's Allen. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 32-yard line. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Up the middle with Eckler.
And he'll get this just inside the 30-yard line.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know you're trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. That'll put him at 66 receiving yards now for the game, and he's got a first down. Now it's Herbert. Working the middle here, that's complete to Everett, the tight end.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Got a man, it's Allen for the Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen with his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Chargers take the opening kickoff of the fourth quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Hopkins with the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. A 10-play drive that time.
And it was Keenan Allen who finished it all off with the touchdown reception.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
Out of the end zone comes McKinnon. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second.
This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front getting to him. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking them.
We're just looking at the scoreboard and where we're at in the third quarter. I don't know that it's going to matter much at this point, CD, but these small runs on the ground, they're not going to get it done.
No, they're not. And right now, the guys stopping the run have been superior in this ball game, giving them no openings, no seams, and now they got this game well in hand.
Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. Ross on the return. Will score that a 36-yard punt, and it'll be Charger football here as they take over.
The offense heading back out as we take a closer look at Austin Eckler.
I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home, because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows that.
And the defense loses him. It's complete. Touchdown, Allen. Keenan Allen saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game.
And the Chargers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
As he was shuffling right out of the pocket, you could just tell he was going to take a shot downfield. He had his eyes down there the whole way.
He certainly did. He wasn't taking off to go, right? When he was flush from the pocket, a lot of times you see him, eyes will drop, ball will get tucked, and he takes off, becomes a running back. But as you noted, stayed alive as a passer, tremendous body control, and a pretty good arm there, too.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
And they'll start at the 25 as McKinnon decides against returning it.
Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again.
Now we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Mahomes, a throw right side taken in by the tight end Gray.
He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Oh, it's time to give more credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Puts it on the carpet, it's out, and picked up by the Chargers. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
65 yards for him on the ground now and 3 touchdowns to go along with it. Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. Now a give running left is Eckler. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. One quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Eckler now between the tackles. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And the Chargers are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. On the give, this is Eckler. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
Eckler diving for the end zone, and he'll get there. Touchdown. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And they'll start at the 25 as McKinnon decides against returning it. And now here comes Kansas City. They are most likely staring at a cold end to their season here in this wild card round. Nothing has gone right so far. And they are, to be frank, in desperation mode now as they begin with a 1st and 10. Now here's Mahomes. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Mecole Hardman, the intended target. And it's 2nd down. Now Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
The Chiefs on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 7. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. He's got his man. That's Hardman. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not...
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Jerry Tillery running in there and setting him down.
Pardon my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front seven today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
On the move past the 40, and they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing, and if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes.
Another catch for Valdez-Scantling.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 13 yards as they've got the connection working. His second catch in a row, first down.
Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the fourth quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a concert, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one. But they certainly don't want to end it on one. They want to put together a few more throws like that and at least have a final drive to give them a little bit more hope as they move forward. Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Mahomes now to throw. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal. Mahomes to throw once more. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. The coverage good. The pressure good. Leads to the sack. And it's 3rd and goal now.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Here's Mahomes, 3rd and goal. Flushed out right. That is caught at the 7-yard line. That pass play good for 7, but it still brings up a 4th and goal.
Nice completion, nice gain.
Great tackle.
Really good tackle. Kept him in bounds, kept things going. What do you do here?
That's the question. Let's see what they do. Butker's kick here is good, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away.
Taken in at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Now the Chargers offensive unit ready to see what they can do here.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard. But they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out with this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
5 yards remain on 2nd down.
They'll run out of the gun with Eckler.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 105 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in the wild card round. A handoff, it's Eckler.
And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They'll run here with Eckler. Give him 15 yards on that one and a Charger first down. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there. Well, one win down, still 3 to go to get to the most hallowed ground in sports, but a good